Welcome to the Tejswi IP Show. In this podcast, we dive into the world of intellectual property, like patents, copyright, trademark, geographical indication design. We also analyze recent events in the IP world. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something incredibly common, yet often surprisingly misunderstood: copyright. You know, whether you're a content creator, maybe a blogger, or just someone who loves sharing things online, it's actually incredibly easy to find yourself, well, unknowingly, tiptoeing, maybe even stomping right into copyright infringement territory. We see it happen so often where people genuinely don't realize they're breaking rules. They just didn't know.
That's absolutely right. That feeling that, wait, that's illegal. It perfectly captures the surprise, doesn't it? When people find out some everyday digital habits could land them in some real hot water.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking abstract legal stuff here. It can mean, legal trouble, financial penalties, even damage to your reputation.
Right.
So today, we really want to walk you through some of the most common pitfalls we see so you can protect yourself, protect your work. Being aware is, well, it's your best defense, really.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The first major pitfall, and honestly probably one of the most common ones, involves images. We're talking about just grabbing images from Google Images for your blog or website. Seems simple, right? Search, click, download.
And that's exactly where the misunderstanding often starts. Just because an image pops up easily on Google doesn't mean it's, free for you to use however you want. The vast majority of those images are still protected by copyright. What's really interesting is how often this specific issue leads to serious problems for people.
Seriously, what's the actual risk here? I mean, it's just a picture, isn't it?
Well, the risk can be pretty significant. If that image is owned by, say, a stock photo site or maybe a professional photographer, you could easily get hit with a DMCA takedown notice. That's the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Or, even worse, hefty fines. We're talking potentially anywhere from like $500 to $1,500 per image, sometimes even more if you're found liable.
Wow, okay. So what does this all mean for someone who just wants to find and use images safely? How do they avoid that kind of trouble?
Yeah, the fix is actually pretty straightforward, thankfully.
Yeah.
The best bet is to use royalty-free platforms. Think Unsplash, Pexels, or Pixabay. They offer images specifically licensed for various uses.
Right.
Or, if you need more options or specific types of images, you could invest in paid stock photo subscriptions. Services like Shutterstock or Adobe Stock. The key thing is always check the license for each image to make sure it actually covers how you plan to use it.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, for our second pitfall, this one is practically the internet's love language. Memes and GIFs, everyone hears them. But can sharing a meme actually be a copyright issue? That seems wild.
It does seem wild, but it raises a really important question because, yes, technically it absolutely can be. Most memes are built on existing copyrighted material, right? Movie stills, celebrity photos, sometimes even specific fonts.
Sure.
And while, everyone seems to be doing it, and it often slides under the radar for just personal, casual sharing, large pages, brands, creators, they have definitely been sued for reposting names. Yeah. Especially if they're using them in ads or somehow monetizing that content.
So how do you stay part of meme culture without taking on that risk? Because you still want to be relevant, you want to engage.
Yeah, it's a balance. If you think about the bigger picture of content ownership, the absolute safest route is to create your own memes. Use royalty-free images or graphics as the base.
Okay.
If you do share existing ones, try to credit the original creator if you can find them. And crucially, avoid using any meme in paid content or ads unless you genuinely own the rights to every single part of it.
Got it. Avoid commercial use unless you're certain. All right, pitfall number 3 might surprise some folks because it involves something that seems inherently designed for sharing. Embedding YouTube videos on your site. Isn't that exactly what the embed code is for?
It sounds harmless, doesn't it? And you're right, embedding is generally fine if, and this is the big if the original person who uploaded that video actually had the legal rights to it in the first place.
Okay.
The problem comes up if they didn't. Maybe they uploaded a movie clip or a song they didn't own. In that case, by embedding it on your site, you could also become liable, especially if it's on like a business website or a blog you make money from.
So what's the best practice there then? How do you share videos without getting caught up in someone else's potential infringement?
Well, the safest approach is to only embed videos from, say, verified channels or creators you know are legitimate. Official brand channels, news outlets, that sort of thing.
Right, trusted sources.
Exactly. If you're ever unsure about the original uploader's rights, maybe it looks a bit sketchy. The safest bet is just to reach out and ask them for permission before you embed it. Better safe than sorry.
Okay, good advice. Now, here's one that gets really interesting, especially for anyone creating audio or video
Yeah.
using music. Music in reels, YouTube videos, podcasts, ads. That trending TikTok sound or that catchy background track seems so accessible.
Oh, it's incredibly accessible, which is why it's such a major copyright trap.
Yeah.
Even using just a few seconds, literally a few seconds, of a copyrighted song without permission can lead to some pretty severe consequences.
Like what?
We're talking content getting taken down completely, demonetization of your video so you can't earn money from them, channel strikes, even getting banned from platforms. And yes, absolutely, real copyright lawsuits can happen.
Okay, that's serious. So how do creators get great music for their content without all those legal headaches?
The solution is definitely using licensed music libraries. The YouTube audio library is a good free starting point if your content is just for YouTube. For broader use, or commercial stuff like ads and podcasts, you'll want to look at platforms like Artlist, Epidemic Sound, or Soundstripe. They offer huge libraries with different licenses, usually subscription-based.
And the key is?
The critical step, always, is to make sure the license you get explicitly covers how and where you're using the music. Is it for YouTube, podcasts, paid ads?
Yeah.
The license needs to match your use case.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on to text. Pitfall number 5. Copying text or quotes without proper attribution. This feels like basic stuff, but where do people tend to slip up online?
It's actually more nuanced than just forgetting quotation marks. You can't just lift whole paragraphs from someone else's blog or book or article, even if you try to, quote, rewrite it a little. If it's not significantly transformed, it's still potentially infringement. Common mistakes we see are people copying About Us pages or product descriptions directly from competitors, using celebrity quotes without saying where the quote originally came from, even just lifting text directly from Wikipedia without understanding its specific licensing terms, like Creative Commons, which often require specific attribution.
So what does this mean for making sure you're doing it right? How do you properly use existing text or information?
Always link back to the original source. If you're quoting directly, use block quotes for longer passages and clearly attribute the author or publication right there.
Okay.
And if you're taking information but not quoting directly, you have to ensure you rewrite it entirely in your own voice and style. Don't just swap out a few words that's paraphrasing too closely and can still be infringement. It needs to be your unique expression.
Got it. All right, number 6. This one can catch even experienced designers off guard, using fonts, templates, and graphics without the right license. I think a lot of people assume if you download it, especially if it's free, you own it for whatever you need.
That is such a common misconception, yeah. Many fonts, templates, graphics, even ones you download from big marketplaces like Envato or Creative Market, come with very specific licenses.
Like what?
Well, some might only be licensed for personal, non-commercial projects. Others might not allow you to use them in items you plan to sell or redistribute them. That free download label, it almost never means free for absolutely anything. Usually it means free for personal use or maybe free with attribution, but rarely free for all commercial purposes without restrictions.
So how do you navigate those terms effectively, especially if you're a designer working on client projects?
You just have to read the license, always. Before you use any digital asset, font, template, icon, whatever, don't assume anything based on where you got it or if it was free.
Tedious but necessary.
Exactly. And crucially, for any professional work, especially stuff for clients, keep proof of purchase. Keep copies of those licenses somewhere easily accessible. It can save you a massive headache down the road if questions come up.
Definitely good practice. Okay, finally, our 7th pitfall. This is a huge one for social media users, which is basically everyone now. Reposting social media content without permission. If it's public, isn't it fair game to share?
Not really, no. Just because content is publicly visible on Instagram or TikTok or X doesn't automatically mean it's yours to just grab and repurpose or repost on your own feed without asking. Whether it's that viral tweet, a beautiful Instagram photo, or a funny TikTok, reposting it directly can be infringement, especially if you don't give credit, or worse, if you edit it. And particularly if that original post itself contains copyrighted stuff like music or movie clips. The platform being public allows viewing and platform-specific sharing. It doesn't grant a universal license.
So how do you share responsibly on social media then? How do you amplify cool stuff without stepping over the line?
The best practice is always to use the platform's own built-in sharing tools. Instagram's share to story function or X's retweet button. Those are designed to share while maintaining the original link and attribution. Even better, just send a quick message to the creator and ask for permission to repost. Most people are super flattered and happy to say yes, usually just asking for clear credit.
And that credit should be.
It should be full and clear. Just saying OV at username might not always be enough, especially if they ask for something specific. Linking back or giving more detail is always better if you have permission.
Okay. So, after hearing all this, you might be thinking, okay, but who's really going to sue me for using a meme on my tiny blog? And, honestly, for very small scale, purely personal, non-commercial use. Maybe no one. Probably no one right away. But here's where it gets really interesting and why this matters for you.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, understanding copyright isn't just about being ethical. It's smart business. It's about protecting yourself. If you're running a blog that gets traffic, if you're building an audience, if you're monetizing your content with ads or sponsors, if you work with brands or clients, or if you sell products or services online, then copyright compliance becomes absolutely critical because the stakes are just so much higher. The potential financial hits, the legal fees, the damage to your professional reputation, they're very real. Brands don't want to partner with creators who have a history of infringement issues. It becomes liability.
Right. So what does this all mean for someone listening right now? Maybe they're feeling a bit overwhelmed, realizing they might have made some mistakes. What's the path forward?
Yeah, it can feel like a lot. But the good news is you don't need to panic and try to delete everything you've ever posted. The key really is awareness and just building better habits starting now.
Okay.
We always suggest a really simple but powerful final tip. Kind of sums it all up. When you're in doubt about any piece of content, image, video, text, font, music, just ask yourself this simple question. Do I own this, or do I have clear, explicit permission to use it for this specific purpose? If the answer is no, or even just, I'm not sure, then you probably shouldn't post it. It's a quick check that protects you and your brand in the long run.
That's a really powerful and practical guideline. Easy to remember. It definitely makes you think differently about the sheer volume of content we all consume and share every single day, and those sort of invisible rules governing it all. As we wrap up, it's worth considering how protecting your own intellectual property also means respecting the IP of others in this huge digital landscape we all inhabit. Thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned for more upcoming episodes.
And remember, for reliable and expert intellectual property legal services, contact Tejswi IP today. Our team of experienced attorneys is dedicated to helping individuals and businesses safeguard their intellectual property rights in this digital age.